And we are back. And it's been a while, for me at least. I had a pretty intense autumn when it came to school-related deadlines, so I really didn't have much in the way of opportunities to record. So I just watched the latest episode that I had recorded and recover my bearings as to what I want to do this session. And I think I'm going to head to the enchanter to enchant some of the items that I've discovered. Mainly the iron rapier for Saltpeter, so that he'll be able to deal insane damage against demons as well with the rest of the group. But yeah, it's 13th January right now. I well, actually it's 4 a.m., so it's 14th January right now, and that means that there are no Nahlakh episodes scheduled to upload. So I'm going to miss an update, but that's what happens, I guess. And yeah, Christmas holiday was quite nice. As a Christmas present, I received a new headset, which I'm using right now to record. I did an audio test, and after the 7th attempt, I managed to record some sound, and it seemed to come out nicely enough. Oh, there's an another music instrumental, so let's buy it. So it's actually quite nice because my previous headset, which had the better mic, excluding this one, which I didn't have back then, only reliably played sound on my left side, as I had to wriggle its position properly for a bit before it would play sound on my right side as well. But it did not affect the recordings that I made with them, so it's something of a relief to be able to have a better headset for recording right now. And on the Christmas holiday, I played a lot of Ark with my brothers. So Ark might be something that I possibly try and record at some point. Maybe. No promises yet. But yeah, I really like the aesthetics of the Operation DLC that was introduced to the Ark universe. And what else? Well, right now I have a lot more free time than I had last autumn, so I might be able to record more and possibly even something else other than Nahlakh and have a separate uploading schedule for it. Maybe. Was there any other shopkeeper here that I want to check before enchanting? This guy maybe. But nothing really that interesting. Yeah, I think I actually had stuff to sell, which I should probably take care while I distract myself with my chat about the Christmas holiday. But yeah, multitasking while recording is notoriously hard thing to do, so no promises. And what else? Yeah, I probably want to sell this knife as well. Even though it's not a bad weapon. I just don't have any knife users And I don't think Nahlakh supports backstabbing the way Natuk does. So there's really no need for me to switch over to using knives, because I don't think it's not going to do that much for me. And your store is now full. I think all the shops here are full. So if I want to empty some shop of cheap items that I can choose to throw away, then I guess it's going to be this food shop. Yeah, I don't think I need the Elven broadsword because I have the Mithril broadsword, which deals more damage. And I still have 4 items to sell. I guess you're something of a cheap store as well. I guess the bandages are maybe the cheapest thing you have here. Yeah, let's buy the Chilanum and the bandages. That should free up 4 slots of stuff we can sell. So it's going to be Pearl, the Black Pearl. And I think you had these 2 at least. What else? Let's go to the Enchanter and see about enchanting the Iron Rapier at least +5. Actually, I'm wondering if I should now spend the scroll of enchant weapon that I've been holding on to for so long. Where is it? Pretty sure I have it on, yeah, on one guy. It would save me 5,600. Yeah, let's going to use it and free up one more inventory space. I need to be wielding this for it to have an effect. I'll save before I use it in case something goes wrong with it. It should not. So yeah, +5. Yeah, it should have only damage of 8, but it's triple damage against demons and magic resistance while I wield it. So I'll probably be using it quite a lot. And I saw that you actually had collarette and bracers, which I can further enchant to provide some more armor for you. And do I have any other? How much would enchanting this cost? A lot! And what about this necklace? Shitloads. I guess it's tied to the item's value, the enchanting cost. It would explain why full plate costs so much to enchant the +1, and why the Dwarven heavy plate does so as well. So I should probably find better next lot items for my front row at least. But does it mean that +2 ring would be cheap to enchant then? Yeah, probably. much for that iron coif? It's actually quite cheap. So let's turn it into +5. What about the chromite necklace? Wrong button. It's that much for the first plus. Probably don't see a reason to do so. But the bracelet will probably be worth it. What about the fine boots then? Yeah, quite cheap as well. That's nice. Gorget. Also nice. You don't have a neck armor yet, but you have bracers, which we can quite cheaply enchant to at least +3. So how much is the iron crown? Because this will survive the transition to the demon plane because it's made of iron. But it's kinda expensive, so I'd rather not enchant it. You only have 39 armor. I'll probably transfer some +5 items from the from the back row to you. And you need as much armor as possible. Because you cannot use a shield because you're using a two-handed weapon. So 61 armor points right now. Yeah, I guess this is probably as much as I can provide. So titanium armors are +4 to the armor score. And I think I had a titanium helmet in someone's inventory, which might be something that I want to look into further enchanting. Okay, so you didn't have really good pair of boots. If I remember correctly, sandals are actually quite cheap to fully enchant. So that's +2 armor to you. So you need better neck and wrists. And you do have the better neck. So let's trade it to someone who's more likely to be in the harm's way. And we'll get the magic or the lightning resistance item back, which is going to keep the back row guy safer, I guess. And then the wrists. Well, look at you. You have a wrist item. It can also be traded. How much would enchanting this cost? It's actually quite cheap for now. And it provides cold resistance in increasing amounts should I further enchant it. Seems like a good idea to do so. Provides both armor and cold resistance, so it's pretty much a no-brainer. The boots are quite cheap as well. What about the shield? Yeah, it's cheap enough, so let's do so. So you got plus 13 armor from what you had before. You're almost full. What we could do is probably provide you with that titanium helmet. You have it. Yeah, it's quite cheap. That leaves over a plus 7 helmet. Actually, let's trade the Iron Crown to some caster for those magic resistance bonuses. Because we do want to concentrate on having higher armor on our melee guys. I think. So we can now enchant you to plus 5 as well. You're still lacking in a bit behind with your armor rating. Possibly could go for a better large shield. Maybe not. Hold on. Yeah, you had the plus 5 iron coif. What about the other mage? Only plus 1 cassis. Do I really want the plus 5 mithril broadsword for non-demon enemies? It would be damage rating 13 versus damage rating 9. Hard to say. I'll have to think about it a bit because it's going to be quite costly to enchant it. The problem isn't so much with dealing damage rather than surviving against the really hard-hitting enemies. And I really need to concentrate on the end game as well, which is the iron items. But yeah, I probably want plus 5 in each slot for my front row guys. So I guess you can be enchanted at least, quite cheaply. So how much would enchanting this amulet cost? Did I already check it? 5,600. That would be another 5 points of lightning resistance to you, and you already have some magic resistance from Iron Hatchet, but nothing else from anywhere. You also have a non-magical ring, which could be cheaply enchanted. I actually have additional rings. Even +3 breast gauntlets. If I really wanted to invest in them, they would provide +1 armor over, +5 gloves. So you have 6 armor gloves, but these could be made into +7. Yeah, let's do the trade. No, actually these are still +6. I guess they are better than +5 gloves. So let's trade them with Kiergairon. And you could still use a better neck item, but I don't think I have, because not everyone even has one. Because the ones with +1 armor base value are quite rare, or have been so far, which is why I had to rely on just jewelry. But it's more expensive to enchant because of its higher base value. So I'd rather not do so unless I really have to. So how much would this cost? Yeah, let's actually enchant it because Dragon Letter items provide fire resistance as far as I know. So having 30 points of fire resistance and this one on the same character should make it so much harder to kill through spells. So basically he should be quite insulated from Firestorm and Fireball and Fire Breath weapons. Not that it really matters when the enemies are going to be throwing death bolts and severe wounds or something. So yeah, what I could do is possibly enchant this into +5er. Then it would be as good as full plate, although weighing 45 pounds and providing magic resistance. And that way I'll be sure to have at least one good armor in the very end game when I go to the demon world, and non-iron items are quite likely to be destroyed. So I would have at least one armor that's worth using. And I think that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be expensive as hell, but at least the Holy Greatsword guy will then have, well, 5 defense for 25% hit avoidance and 10 armor for soaking damage that might otherwise injure him. But do I really want to equip it on my Dwarven heavy plate guy, because it's going to bring down his armor rating by 5. How much armor do you have? 64. That's like so much higher than what the other guys are having. Yeah, let's equip it and trade the Dwarven heavy plate to Kiergairon. Because full plate will then be given to Saltpeter, I guess. And that means that +1 field plate will probably be... No, actually it could be equipped by someone in the back row. I'm guessing Belanar gets a new plate. And now I have more items to sell again, I guess. It's just that the stores are quite full. Need to find something cheap to sell and toss. I wonder if there's something cheaper in here. 15's the lowest we've seen. Well, you'd be only 9. So let's buy these two to free up two items. Actually had Iron Shield as well. Probably want to enchant that as well. For the endgame reasons. And Iron Barrel Helm. Why did I miss these when I was enchanting stuff earlier? Damn. Iron Shield. Yeah, quite cheap to fully enchant it. But who should have it? Let's give it to Kiergairon. He had a +2 large shield. Large shield is not bad because it has +3 defense. But I think you have the Elven shield. So I guess large shield goes to someone in the back row. Guessing Dalzedur. And Iron Barrel Helm. Yeah, luckily it was quite cheap. So that's a +6 armor. Which makes it worse than anything that I have on my front row. I'm guessing he'll give it to Saville. If I can find it. Here it is. No, hold on, you seem to have an empty room in your store. Do I have a silver fencing weapon on my fencer? I don't seem to be having one. And we have the silver epee, and I think I saw silver rapier on you. Wonder what the difference is between those two, if any, when it comes to stats. Yeah, I could now possibly rid myself of at least the +5 silver racks. Okay, so the epee does more damage, so silver rapier is now extra. And I do want to enchant it. It's just going to cost a fair amount, because silver is a valuable material. And do I really have any stores here that have worthless items for me to buy next to nothing and toss? Yeah, I guess those 4 items will have to do. So silver rapier and the silver axe. The +5 iron scimitar will be equipped by someone in the back row for its bonus. So I'm guessing it has to be 4 wins, because I'd prefer to have my priests alive, because they're able to revive other dead allies. I just don't know if the increased magic resistance stat on these guys will make it harder for them to cast spells. That might be a side effect, I don't know. And no one has at least commented on these videos. Tell me if that's the case or not. Oh, what else? Guessing we're doing rather fine. Now that I've spent quite a lot of money to improve my items. And I still have some additional items that I might want to sell or toss at some point. Well, if you have room, then I might wish to sell something still. But then again, I just remembered that I want to hold on to additional shields for the end game, because I need at least 3 shields to survive the portal to Nahlakh. And the iron shield will do so, so I need 2 additional shields to survive the transition. That's why I am carrying extra pairs, because it gives me higher chances to have some shields survive the journey. But yeah, I guess we'll continue our adventuring. So it's again long trek to the northwest. I guess I'll follow the mountain range for a bit. Not sure if we fully explored the giant cave. Maybe. So let's actually go back to the giant cave.